Herm sits at the bar, hunched over his mail, sliding a silver disc around under the tip of his finger and watching the light glint off it. Drinking in the early afternoon, he isn't even sure what brought him here. Reluctance to head back out into the waste, maybe. He's getting old, and he has a little coin in his pocket. Why not indulge himself for a few days in town? Sure, a vacation won't make him any younger, but there isn't much that could. Sun Orchid Elixir and Alchemist Stone, Numerian Fluids maybe, if he was willing to roll the dice. A strong hand claps him hard on the back. It's enough to tense his shoulders and spike his heart rate. Then Eshkimel appears at his side, a sober smile on her face. "It's been too long, old friend. Why don't I ever see you around anymore?" Herm gives her a little smile and takes a swallow from his mug. "Business has been bad since Sidao took over. It's harder and harder to get anything decent into the city. I've had to resort to organizing caravans down to Hajath Hakados or up to Chesed. More work, less money, and less time for pleasant company." The aging Kelid woman plops herself down on the stool next to him. It's early yet, and Herm's the only customer in the place. She figures she can afford to give herself a break. "Planning to stick around for the fights?" "You know I'm not." His eyes fall into his cup and stay there. Either oblivious to the change or consciously ignoring it, Eshki presses on. "The card's a little light tonight, but you never know how things will turn out lately. We've had a few out-of-towners show up and really put on a show." Hermvel's back stiffens, and he turns his head without actually looking at Eshki. "What out-of-towners? From where?" "Calm down, old boy, you're going to hurt yourself." She leaves a long silence there. "It was a Tengu woman and a human man. Sorry to disappoint." He sighs and shakes his head, his body relaxing, his posture getting even worse. After sucking on his teeth for a few seconds, Herm takes a long drink, then plops the mug down in front of Eshki. "If you're going to deliberately antagonize me, you can at least buy me a drink." Eshki gives her friend a sad smile, then gets up off the stool and climbs over the bar. "Sure thing, old boy, I'm just saying. Why not indulge an old habit once in a while? You never know who might show up." This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that does a quick circle around the perimeter to establish eye shot. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Hey, Sam.
Hello.
Hello.
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. Hello.
Last week on the program, the party tried to figure out a plan for, spying on Tarazi and his new job and making contact with him in the unlikely event that they ever get him away from the shade or whatever. Meanwhile, Tarazi had to continue working for the shade. They went down from the Technic League facility to Skywatch, a tower that overlooks the very far northern corner of town, kind of pointed at the Silver Mount, where they confronted Karis, who had been shirking her duties. She's supposed to be on Skywatch all the time, watching the sky, I guess. She was not there. The other day, she was down at the Tarnished Tooth watching some fights, and something, apparently, left the Silver Mount while she wasn't there to see it. So, she was in trouble deep. The Shade gave Tarazi the opportunity to determine what her punishment would be. He thought maybe, like a docked day's pay. That was not what the Shade had in mind, so she did have Tarazi hold Karis while she just cut her face just like a little bit, and then there'd probably be another punishment to be named later. They left Karis behind. Tarazi just did a quick surreptitious apology. Then they called it a night, And Tarazi and the boys went drinking. They went out to a local cop bar where the party was able to finally reestablish contact with their buddy and have a psychic conversation on the down low, where they established that Tarazi didn't think he was in immediate danger and that he could probably escape any night he wanted to. They were going to set up a little care package of like invisibility supplies behind the building in case he needs them. And then they established like a few different spots where they could meet up to chat in the event that Tarazi needed to escape and didn't want to lead him back to Mockery. And then, they parted ways. Tarazi's day came to an end over at the little barracks the Shade has set aside, and then the party went back to Mockery, where there was someone waiting for them, an apparent angel named Opal, who wanted to meet them. When she was asked politely, she revealed that she was not in fact an angel, but rather a gargoyle, sent by Unity just to say hello. The party was not impressed by her god, and was not willing to start worshipping Unity under any circumstances. She thought this was rather arrogant of them, but she accepted their decisions, and then she was on their way, and that's where we are now, basically.
Karis would be stoked if they were like a college-age gentleman in the 19th century Germany. And whenever those like Menschur scars were pretty cool. Like when they would give them to them, like the dueling scars, they'd like give themselves dueling scars to look interesting.
Are they scarves for dueling, or the scarves duel themselves?
It's like a scar you'd get on your face that would belie that you were a dueler.
Scar.
But like sometimes people would give themselves. It'd be like ripping your own jeans in the 90s.
And they'd like, they even had like special like fencing masks that like left your cheeks open to be more likely to get hit and stuff. And they'd like purposely heal them bad. They'd like rub stuff in them so they'd get a good scar. It was a weird
get a little
thing.
lint in there. I heard dueling scarves, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun."
Yeah, it's like more of a region
thing. With like the aristocracy thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like an ascot.
Oh, look, the Parisians have a straight up scarf that will kill you. I believe there's some sort of like bladed scarf situation.
You can. Yeah, if you have a character with a Parisian background, you can like take a feat to use it as a weapon.
Classic Pathfinder or something.
If you can think of it, there's probably a feat chain for it.
I'm not surprised.
And a feat tier.
Oh ho ho. So as she's climbing the ladder to leave you all behind in Mockery, Opal pauses for just a second to take out a sticker that says tallest and put it on herself, just sort of on her cloak, and then she resumes climbing away.
I don't like her, Kira says, and will not wait for her to be gone all the way.
Opal, before you go.
And she stops, kind of hanging off the rungs way off the ground.
I don't know. Actually, maybe like a couple things, but especially one thing from the top. The establishment you visited us in, the proprietor, the owner, the denizens within, they pride themselves on a degree of privacy that, if it were compromised, would have serious negative deleterious effect on the people here. Am I to understand that while your god may be able to find us, that this information will stay within the mountain?
I cannot speak for my god completely, but I do not believe that Unity has any intention of revealing this place to anyone but myself.
And what of the Technic-Leg? What does your god think of the Technic-Leg?
They are interesting ones, aren't they? She smiles.
No thesaurus is inside of the Silver Mount. Just saying,
I'm interested in a great number of people.
You're using a very... It's the nature of your interest that we are curious. We wish the divot. Is it like an impassive interest? Is it an active interest?
Oh, that
Are you a hand that meddles?
It very much depends on their behavior. Some of them have come into the Silver Mount, and we have had contact with their kind. And, sometimes that goes very well for them. Sometimes it goes very poorly, indeed.
Why does Unity need believers? I've seen what they're made out of. From what I understand, the god stuff, the thing that comes from the stone in Absalom, or the thing that they had that elevated them in times immemorial before, came from a central belief. These are alien intelligences that have traversed the stars, that have crashed here by happenstance, as we understand it. Why do they need us?
Unity does not need any of us. Unity became a god by sheer force of will, the sheer power of their intellect. They allow us to continue to exist. I suppose I don't know why they choose to. A great many they have not allowed to continue to exist. They may well choose to kill us all in the end, if it suits them.
One, just have to say as an aside, did anyone ever watch the Person of Interest series?
Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe nobody did? Okay. Oh, you did? Okay, excellent.
I haven't watched it, but I know the premise.
Strong, like,
It's the one with the
vibes.
supercomputer that, like, can decide if people are dangerous or not or something like that. Something.
Yeah, the like loose premise is the idea that an AI was designed for the government post 9/11 to create risk assessments and would dispatch people and all of the moral ambiguity that surrounds that.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it that basically the same plot of the second Captain America, that they build the helicarriers that are...
Watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know if they used...
I
I
missed
don't
that
think
one.
they used an algorithm for that. They used a... Well, they had like a scientist guy who decided who was dangerous.
But it was an AI based off of him because he was like long dead. It was the dude that played Ollie in The Mist.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very similar situation with the way. This show also had Michael Emerson on it, which, is a solid, he's good in virtually everything. Most people remember him from Lost,
Linus.
but he does a lot. But I believe the Technic League would aim to control what lives inside of the Silver Mount. I'm curious how anything could go positive for a single one of them probing the depths.
They are certainly welcome to try to control whatever they'd like to try to control. It does not mean they will be successful.
Like, I know this would be terrifying in real life, but when you said that you were going to rip Desna's heart out, it's like hard to not imagine it with like the cursor hand. Because like there is no other hand with which they could remove than I know, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Double click on the heart and just drag it. And drop it.
To the trash can.
I just hope Unity also has cool clip art images of themselves like Hellion did.
Like Hellion did.
This is Bonsai Buddy again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, demon.png.
He was at least a GIF. He was almost a VTuber.
I mean, I feel like Clippy would be a good face for Unity, honestly, and all that they represent. The true original avatar of a faceless technological beast.
Yeah. Yeah, because the first time that Unity talked to us, it was like that nice, pleasant, like, oh, hello, how are you? Like,
I'm
when
like,
it
I
channeled
will not
itself through that one
sign up.
Gearsman.
I don't care about OneDrive. Leave me alone.
Would you like to try Copilot?
Come on.
I've installed Copilot for you. I know you uninstalled Copilot, but it's still there.
We've installed Copilot for Copilot to assist you in using Copilot. Don't leave yet. I feel like there's something else I want to know.
She's just like awkwardly, like slowly going up a room.
Dangling off the...
Is there another way to get into the Silver Mountain than the way that the Technically guards? If we did want to meet the Unity, how would we get in? Would we have to defeat every single Technically agent inside of this city? Is there some other way that we could get inside of that mountain?
Oh, there's probably any number of ways.
Pretend I'm not a gargoyle.
Well,
There's no way at all. I don't understand how it would do it.
I do think that flying would be advantageous to get into the mountain. There are very few options at ground level. I suppose as far as sneaking past the Technicleague's defenses, I'm afraid you're on your own there. I trust that if you're worthy of entering Unity's presence, you will figure it out.
All right, what's your name again? So I can write it down.
You may call me Opal.
Opal. Okay, yeah, that's right. Opal, O-P-E-L. Is that the name that they gave you or the name you had before?
It is the name that I had before.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
And she climbs the rest of the way out, and she's gone. I apologize for that. I'm afraid she appeared quite suddenly, and it was clear that we were not going to be able to force her out.
Did she say anything to you?
Merely that she was here to meet with the 4 travelers, and we were to leave her alone until you all returned.
Oh. Briggs, do you think that we're dangerous here?
I think that, well, there's no saying what the caprice and will of a god under a mountain may want. But it doesn't seem immediately advantageous for them to sell us out to the Technically to be destroyed. Sure, if anything, they'd want to destroy us for our insolence, but we probably still remain, for lack of a less used term, interesting to the whole situation over there. But I mean, how do you feel, Mockery?
Yeah, but do you think we're making things worse for people here by being here and attracting, like, weird god gargoyles?
Gargoyles aside, I believe that, well, I mean, it's up to Mockery. It's your house. We certainly have shown up, killed a state-sponsored drug dealer, embedded one of our own inside of a state-sponsored thug group, and countless other petty crimes. Got most of the Jake's Cake Hovel passport filled out. But at the same time, I could understand if we've overstayed our welcome, or if this has maybe shaken your resolve to continue.
And he thinks for a moment and says, I do mean to continue to resist the Technically, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't concerned with tonight's developments. I don't know if she will come back, and I don't know what would have happened if you had not come back, and while she was waiting here, I don't know what she would have done to all of us. But you are right that it's become increasingly dangerous. If you could perhaps, not tonight. Tonight, I would say stay here. That's fine. If you could perhaps find a rotation of sorts, or a variety of places to stay in, just so that it's not always the same spot. That might be safer for all of us. It might be completely pointless, though. Obviously, the Unity knows where we are.
Yeah, I don't see an incentive for the Technic to play the long game. If they knew where we are and where you are, they would be here.
Oh, absolutely. They would come crashing down on us.
We can stay elsewhere. Is this because Kira's been sleeping in your bed? She has called dibsies every time. I've heard it.
Every time.
Yes, but she does ignore when I call dibsies. Also, like, before that.
You don't pronounce it right.
There's always a new rule. Every day there's a new rule. I'm beginning to think that this whole system is bunk.
It's that sort of attitude that'll never get you a bed in this place, but I understand. It's fine.
No dibsies for you.
It's the real reason he wants the rotation.
Only book 5 heroes. Yeah. To get kicked out of a straight up like NPC's house. Just, yeah, I know this should have been your base for the rest of the book, but nah.
Dibsies.
All right, well, anything left to do, or we star wiping to the next day?
I think we're star wiping.
Next day, right?
I make an invisibility scroll, and that is it. That shouldn't take me too long, considering it's just a level 2 spell. I assume improved invisibility is not on the Inquisitor's spell list, but at the same time, it's not that useful to you, comparatively. We want you to get away, not to fight him.
Yeah, it's more of a time thing than
It is on the Inquis list,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, I'll make you one of those in the future.
Yeah, because greater invis is turns per level, right?
Mm-hmm. But it would be wild for Tarazi to be invisible and potentially striking against anyway.
Oh yeah, like in a combat, it would be great. I'm just thinking like for right now, like to slip him, we want regular. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want the one that's a quarter of an hour.
I'm going to feed your dog some goo this morning.
This is day 2 of the start over, or is this the first day of the start over?
This is day 2 of the start over. We have to hit a 12.
Yeah.
Right, and that is a 12 with a +9.
Woo.
Let's see. Wow, just did it.
on the nose.
Exactly.
3 off the die. So that does it. A little goo right on the nose for old Rusty Doo.
Since we're still in Starfall, can everybody bounce me at D100?
It stayed in the non-stinky side of town.
54, like the studio I went to the night before.
That studio probably had pretty good cleaning practices, because you're fine.
That's how Studio 54
45.
is described.
Yeah, by necessity, they keep it pretty clean.
No unsanitary establishment.
45 for Alowin.
Allowan's good as well.
Right.
Jeff, any chance you got a 39?
I got an 81.
Aw, man. 93.
Oh, you're all good.
Seems like rolling low is not desirable, like very low.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
We know. Yeah, I was gonna say we know it's not a 50% because Alowin would have been 6, so it's got to be probably like a 25 or a 20.
Maybe it changes every day.
Let's see. XP is re-upping his contingency. Same thing. Old mirror images when attacked this morning.
Every time you hit the rat, he explodes into other rats.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Old rat fractals. Ractals.
Rat pinata.
Fractals.
Whole ractals. I'd also like to, after infusing myself to look like a different SMR this morning, go out and purchase a caster level 5 invisibility potion, but also one of gaseous form, which is a level 3 spell. And I'd also love to buy a gaseous form scroll for from Gary's Gasporium to like keep as a memento, but also I'm kind of surprised that wasn't in Ferkus's book.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird.
Well, he didn't need it because he was already a gas ghost.
That is true. But yeah, I figure that gives some like nice options to Tarazi. If invisibility doesn't seem right, you can still at least gas away. So, and maybe drop those off. I don't know. That's kind of like my morning plans. I don't know if anybody else had like brunch plans with anybody or whatever.
Alan wants to go have lunch with what's his face again? Go down to the palace and eat in the dining room again.
Join the party.
Yeah. No, yeah, I can't really think of anything else other than just, stopping in occasionally and making sure Tarazi hasn't been found out, but not often enough that it draws suspicion.
All right. Well, while the party is getting their care package prepped for Tarazi, the day starts over on the other side of town. The shade comes around early in the morning after everybody's had time to do their morning workouts, have a little bit of breakfast. What's going on over there?
Yeah, I don't really know why when I'm broad, I thought it would be cool to say dice instead of being pictures of dice. I didn't really have a lot of time to come up with a disguise, but I think it's kind of fun.
Well, it's certainly memorable. I mean, it's a weird word to have on your arms.
Fair enough.
I mean, people see dice and they remember dice.
True. He'll put on his sweatband of disguise.
And then I guess later if they go to tell their friend, then it turns into a whole big thing because they got to explain it's not actually a picture of dice, it's the word dice. So then that person remembers it too.
We could do this for the whole rest of the app.
Probably. But eventually the shade does arrive. And she sort of gathers you all up, and another day of shaking people down ensues. I think at the start of the day, and for at least the first couple hours, it's basically the same as it was yesterday, where you stop in at different businesses, and it's always like a different one each time. And Valdis takes the lead, and generally speaking, mostly just shakes down the business leaders for a monetary tribute to the league. Gathers up money, but there's also, some general purpose menacing, maybe occasionally knocking something off of a shelf just to remind people what's what, but it's not exciting. It's your run-of-the-mill thuggery. But a few hours in after a morning of general purpose thuggery, the shade sort of pulls Tarazi aside when the group is at right around the base of the hill where the palace is. And she says, I have a special task for you, Brad. You're going to be going on your own on this one.
Oh, I'm all ears.
I would like you to go up to the palace, and she hands you like a Technic League badge. So it's instead of like the sort of lesser badge that lets people carry technology, this is the full-on triangle on the gear kind of thing. This will get you into restricted areas of the palace. I would like you to go see Gartone. Ask him if he is moving against Elias Embervale.
All right. He puts the badge on and says, see Gartone. Ask him if he's moving against Elias. And then just return with his response?
Yes, just let me know what he says. Couldn't be simpler.
All right, I can do that.
She sends you off, and the rest of the crew watches you go, and Tarazi's on his own again.
Cool.
So where's the rest of the party a couple hours into the day? After you've had time to do your shopping and such.
I think Kira is doing a solo Jake's Cake Hovel crawl. Well, solo, but with her cat. And
Is
her
there
scorpion,
anything you
I
want to
guess.
chase down around your mom?
Oh, yeah, my mom.
Because we could do mom stuff, because we can't really do Vargas stuff right now.
Yeah, let's see. I think our last lead was like Chesed.
Yeah, we can look for
So can we see if anyone else knows anything more local?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at gathering information, but I'm here for moral support. I could probably hurt our
Alan has
chances.
decent charisma if you guys can just get a 10 to aid.
I
try.
We can walk around, ask.
can try that.
So Alan will go around and see if we can gather info on Kira's mom.
Oh, I cannot get a 10 to aid.
That is a 14 on the die.
Bixby has you with an 18 off the die for a 17.
Nice. So that is, where is my diplomacy? Plus 16, that's a 30, and then with Brixby's aid, that's a 32.
Okay, so what, like,
I feel like he would maybe just be asking, like, probably older people in the city, just if anybody, like, especially maybe around the area, like, where the fight club was, like, if anybody remembers a orc gladiator that, like, meets Kira's mom's description from back in the day, and if we can find, like, a name, if we know any kind of anything that anyone remembers.
Or if, like, she was traveling with anyone or anything like that. Anything we could, any additional, like, I think I had Chesed last time, but if we could get even more information.
so you want to roll a d4 to see how many hours it takes as I punch my microphone.
That is a 3.
So this takes a
One of
while.
the least satisfying dice to roll.
So it takes a little while, so I'm poking around. You get your standard, most people not really remembering. And then maybe a couple people who it seems like a little familiar to, and maybe there's like somebody who like will direct you to somebody else who might know better, and then like that person kind of remembers and they go get their buddy. So it becomes like a chain of telephone till eventually you find like an older half-elf. So it's somebody who, you know, they look like they're in their 60s, so there's almost no telling how old they actually are, certainly north of 100. And this person says, like, I used to be quite into the watching the fights in my younger days. I remember a gladiator who met that description probably on the sort of the tail end when I was getting out of it. But yes, there was an orc. She was part of a larger retinue. I think they were. I don't know if they were prize fighters or what. There was like a whole stable of them. They were terribly dangerous, I think. Oh, well, I mean, what did you want to know about them?
When I'm using my old voice. When was this?
Oh, it had to be, or they do a little bit of math on their fingers. At least 15 years ago, maybe a little more. They were here for quite some time, I think, and then they just all left one day. I think they used to have some association with someone in the league. They stayed up on the hill somewhere. So they were, I don't know if they were just someone's favorites or if they, I don't know, but they certainly were living in the lap of luxury if they were staying at the palace or maybe in the Technic League facility. Somebody important liked them anyways. And then just one day they were all gone, like at least 5, 6 of them. They had been sort of almost omnipresent, fighting every night, or at least 1 or 2 of them would fight somewhere all the time, and then poof, they up and vanished.
Did anyone from the Technic League vanish when they went? Or was it just the prize fighters?
That's hard to say. It's hard to know where most of them are, and they were all different members back then. I think most of the people who were in the league that long ago are long dead. It's a fairly high turnover career. I mean, there's that red-haired one. She's been there forever, and then maybe a few others, but Like the people you see now, the shade, she was, as far as I know, she wasn't anyone of note back then. Gartone still had his whole face back in those days, but he wasn't of any importance.
Tell me more about this red-haired person.
They think, I don't know. She's a human. She's been here for ages. I mean, I suppose one to talk, but she seems like she's been the same age forever. She's a strange one. She has like ritual markings all over her face.
That one.
And arms and things, almost like she's done some sort of self-mutilation or someone else has mutilated her. And actually, now that I think about it, some of the people in that orc's party, they had like scarification. It like they had modified their bodies. There was it's like they had like a lot of scars, like they had done things, or someone had done things to them.
Modified their bodies?
I don't know if they had implants or if they... I have no idea what sort of thing they did to them, but they certainly had the look of intentional work done on their bodies.
When was the last time you saw the person with the red hair?
She's still around. I don't think she comes out of the facility very often, but she's in Starfall, certainly.
Oh, do you know her name? Do we know her name? Did we ever get a name?
I don't know that any of you have ever gotten a name, and I'm gonna...
I think Argus got a name, but I don't remember it, and no one else in the party would know it.
I'm gonna just roll
the name is lost to time.
A luck check to see if this person knows the name. Say odds they know, evens they don't. That is an 11.
So I think Gartone mentioned it at one point, but that was in a conversation nobody else was in.
Yeah, they say she had a strange name. I don't know where it would have come from. It was I remember, because it's like a smile. Like her name is Grin. It's an odd name for an odd woman. Grin Rassic.
Grin Rassic. Lady with red hair and sketchy motives, maybe. Well, thanks, old-timer. Don't take offense. I'm an old-timer, too. Look at me. Kira will gesture to her 28-year-old self.
Oh, us old-timers got to stick together.
All right, that's it. And Kira will turn and walk away.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, old-timer.
Bye.
All right, jumping back to Tarazi, do you go to the Palace of Fallen Stars?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, you're in the Palace of Fallen Stars. You know the place.
Yeah, he would,
or right on top of it.
He would just stroll purposefully and head up the stairs.
All right, well then I don't know why I even put you on the first floor. We could jump right to the second floor.
And yeah, heading down the main stretch on the second floor. He only really knows two places where Gartone was, talking to Mystery Lady and in the Hill Giant room or beyond. So he opens the door to the Hill Giant room.
And you open the door into a room full of Hill Giants. They kind of startle a bit to see somebody just walking right in there. One of them's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
I'm looking for Gartone. Is he around?
Well, you're not supposed to just come in here.
I didn't know. Sorry. He'll walk out, he'll close the door, and he'll knock on the door.
The Hill Giant walks up to the door and says, "Who is it?"
I am with the League. I'm looking for Gartone.
"Oh, you didn't say you were with the League." And he opens the door up and he's like, "Oh, well, I guess you could come in." And he points up to the north and go that way and through the door, and then you'll be facing the door, and that'll take you to Garton's place.
Oh, thank you. And he will knock on this door, because he doesn't know how many doors he's supposed to go through, the hill giant.
And nobody immediately answers that door.
All right. And he'll open it and step through.
And this is a mostly empty room, except for 4 gearsmen who are seemingly standing guard in here. And then there's a small table and several chairs in the northwestern corner of the room, under the dome, that's sort of up here. There's a door like immediately to Tarazi's left when he comes in, just past one of the gearsmen that are standing eerily still. And then there's another door along that same wall, right before you get to the little meeting area there. But there's also a set of double doors directly across the room from you.
Recalling you'll be facing that door, he's pretty sure he will knock on the double doors.
And there's like a little bit of a silence, and then maybe some rustling, and then voice from inside says, "Yes, what is it?"
Sorry to disturb you, Captain. I was sent to ask you a question.
And he sighs and opens up the door, and you find yourself face to face with a tall-ish, I'd say like right around 6 feet, maybe a little bit taller, man who looks like he's from approximately the Alkenstar area of the world. It's somewhere in the south kind of thing, with a badly scarred right side of his face. He's a heavily built kind of guy, so he doesn't really look super wizardy. And he's got a goatee and half a head of hair. And he says, "Well, what's your question?" And he backs up to make room for you to come into the room if you so choose.
Yeah, he'll step just inside the door and say, I was sent to ask if you were moving against Elias Embervale.
And he says, "Shut the door."
Of course, sir. And he'll shut the door.
"Who did you say you were sent by?"
I don't think Tarazi knows better than to be straightforward, and so he'll say, I'm under the employ of the Lady Shade.
He does a little bit of a snorting laugh, and he says, "And why does the Shade want to know about Elias?"
And he shrugs. Broad shrugs and says, this sort of, I didn't ask her motivations. She just assigned me to ask you the question and return with your reply.
Of course, she didn't tell you, but you work for her, don't you?
I do. New hire.
What was your name again?
Broad.
Well, Broad, the new hire who works for the Shade, if you had to guess why it is that the Shade is interested in my feelings on Elias Embervale, what would you say?
And he thinks for a second, just says, I know there was something about like an item that was stolen, and I don't know if it's related, but that's sort of the only thing I could think of at the moment.
And there's this rather large room that you're in appears to mostly be outfitted as like a magical lab. There's not really technological supplies in here. It looks like maybe there's magic/alchemical work done here, bottles and vials everywhere and stuff like that. And like a couple workbenches in addition to like living quarters. It's a pretty big space. And then there are these two weird kind of partially metal machine-like things that stand like 10 feet tall on like spindly, weird, multi-jointed legs that are standing like totally still against the walls of this room. And he looks over at them and he turns around, takes a couple steps into the room, puts a hand on his face, just kind of like rubbing his beard. And he says, I think the Shade knows that I didn't steal that weapon out from under Elias. And I think that she would know that I know that. He thinks about the logic of his statement for a second there just to make sure the points match up. So, this little bit of posturing has me confused, Brad. Is she trying to goad me into doing something? Is what I'm wondering. You said you were a new employee. And he starts walking back, a hand in a pouch at his side. Could it be that you have upset the Shade in some way?
And Broad and Tarazi, and both of his states of being, are a little nervous. And he just says, I didn't mean to upset you, Captain. I can return to her and just say that the answer is no. I was hired for my muscle, not my brains. So I don't think she pays me to think very much. He's got a nervous laugh.
He says, no, I can see that much is very obvious, friend Brad. How about this? Since I'm not interested in taking out anyone's trash for them, if that's what this is, and I am not interested in whatever political game someone is trying to play with me, tell the Shade that I am moving against Elias. Tell her that I request that she move against Elias.
Yes, sir. I'll relay that message.
Very good, Brad. And the rest of what I've said here remains secret from your employer. Do you understand?
Of course. She's she knows when I'm not telling the truth. But I can leave all kinds of information out. I think it would be in my best interest to do so.
There's a hierarchy here. You are at the bottom. The Shade is above you. I am most certainly above her. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Good. And he claps you on the shoulder. Says, now get out of here. Got work to do.
And he just nods, we'll open the door. And before Gartone can change his mind, he'll just step right out and close that door.
Yeah, he'll let you go. And the Gearsmen as well just kind of watch and let you go.
Dope.
The Hell Giants kill you, though.
I had a feeling.
And so with Tarazi heading back towards the Shade, is mission complete. What's the rest of the party doing? I heard mention of having lunch with the Black Sovereign.
Nope. I don't doubt that Alwyn would have suggested that, but I feel like Brixby and Kira would have shot it down very quickly and firmly.
What do you feel about talking to more people about maybe Grin?
I think that now we have a name, maybe more people will remember her. Actually, I guess we weren't asking about her before we were asking about my mom. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm willing to contribute my paltry too if I even make it.
I think that Kira turns directly from this conversation, like whips out a hand, grabs the closest person by the scruff of their neck and is like, what do you know about Grin? And then just puts them down. It's like, I'm kidding. But what do you know about Grin, though?
That is a 17 on the die for charisma. So it would be a charisma to try to aid. You'd have to get a 10.
I aid.
Yay. Okay, so that is 1 aid. So that is a 17 plus 2 is 19, plus 16 is 35. Yeah.
Seems right.
I'd say 35. So Alwyn, like, very gently lifts the person out of Kira's grip and says, we're interested in information on someone named Grin? Was it Rassic? Did you say was their last name? Yes. Grin Rassic, who maybe works at the Technic League. A woman with red hair and scars.
And a person kind of shudders at the mention of the name, and he says, if you don't mind me asking, why would you want to know about someone like her?
Well, if you don't mind us asking, why wouldn't we want to know about someone like her? Also, what's she like?
Imagine like the worst person that you could imagine. And then like she killed that person and took their place.
Oh.
Just like
because for a second it sounded like a good thing. For
scale there. No, she was like took their place because they weren't bad enough, kind of.
Oh.
Is what I was going for. The metaphor kind of fell apart on me. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about where she came from or anything. She's just sort of the type of person who's always been around. She is, I think, as far as I know, she's like the only one in the league who, like, is rank-wise equivalent to Gartone, like sort of the tier below Osmond would be her and Gartone, and she has the privileges that nobody else has.
Well,
what kind of privileges?
I think she's in charge of the prisoners. And he shudders, and he's like, I don't know what she does, but I mean, once they throw you in the technically prison, you don't come back.
We're going to break him out of jail. With him being Vargas.
yeah.
I don't say this to that person. Although that would be appropriate for my, 7 diplomacy roll.
Brooksby just standing there going, jailbreak, jailbreak.
Just playing Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak over and over and over on a jukebox until I get kicked out. Those canonically exist here.
I think so. And the cake hobbles. Do you ever see her outside of the spooky place?
I don't think she comes out very much, but yeah, I've seen her. I mean, years ago, the Black Sovereign had her lead a unit to put down some rebellion somewhere. She was I wasn't there, thankfully, but I think she killed a whole army of Kelid warriors with some kind of fire weapon or something. I don't know the details, but she was she seems to delight in that sort of work.
Well, that's all the questions I got. Thanks.
Bye. He's like, whatever you think you're interested in that has to do with Rassic, I would advise you to maybe look the other way.
Stop being interested. Thank you for your advice. I will take that into consideration.
Sense motive.
I'm not going to consider it.
You didn't even make him roll.
No, yeah, it was pretty obvious. Anyone else have anything to say? I think we're going to set a trap for this red-haired lady.
All you have to do is find the worst person, and she will be motivated to kill them.
Yes.
Set him up right there in the square.
Yeah, you sort of just put a box over the worst person, a little stick, and you tie a rope to the stick.
Worst person box.
You can write right on it, worst person box.
Yeah, no, that was the plan. Probably Kier has a sticker for that. Well, anything else we wanted to do, team?
Need a D4 roll to see how long it took to find this fine gentleman.
Canonically, we just grabbed him immediately after talking to the last person.
He ran away and you had to chase him down.
Well, apparently we had to chase him for 2 hours. through the streets of Starfall.
You come back here.
I don't want to talk about it. She's really scary. All right, so the party has spent 5 hours gathering information from the locals over the course of today, and Tarazi, I think you can find your way back to the Shades quarters. It takes a while to walk across the city, but it doesn't take like hours and hours. I don't think anybody's there when you get there, just because they're still out doing their rounds. It's a little bit of free time off for Tarazi to hang out if he wants it.
I guess he would go over, if he can, to the other side of the house, the meeting interview room, and just see if there's anything, any of those contracts people signed. No, there's probably nothing to really look over. It seemed pretty sparse. Tarazi is wondering if his new Technic League badge would get him into the compound. He knows where the Shades workshop / quarters are. If he doesn't see anybody back at the barracks, then he might go looking for her there.
Well, you can certainly try it.
Yeah, I think you would. So does my dog.
All right, smash cut to Technic League compound. Tarazi's really getting his steps in. He went up the hill, down the hill, back up the hill again.
Yeah.
But I think the gates of the Technic League compound with their weird potted plants in front of them, well, they open for Tarazi. You can just walk right in. The battle guards look you over, but they don't say anything, as battle guards often don't really seem to say much. Then you can just walk in.
All right. He'll just walk in and open the kind of main door that they went through and went up, and see if, his purposeful walk gets him stopped at all.
Yeah, the gearsmen manning that entryway, just hanging out. They don't seem to bother you. It's almost like they automatically pick up the badge and they just let it go.
And it was this way? This is the upstairs?
Yeah, that's the upstairs.
All right. Up he goes.
All right. Making me scroll way out here to drag you way over. Pretend you don't see any buildings. There you go, up the stairs and into the second floor kind of landing. There's a big, weird robot-looking thing up there.
Yeah, it's not terrifying at all. And that is where the extent of my Jeff's memory on where I went ends. So Tarazi Broad fills in the blanks.
Yeah, I think the door down on the south side by that big old robot, it'll scoot out of the way for you. That goes down into the hall. And then the Shades room. I totally remember which one is the Shades room. Oops. I think it's the one at the very end here.
On this side?
So it's if you just the other direction. Like all the way at the end, I opened the door for you. You got to go down and kind of work through the S. And then the little room up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is the Shade here?
The Shade is not here.
Cool. I'm going to look around.
Going through the Shade stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to toss the place, make it look obvious, but he is going to look around.
All right. Why don't you roll me a perception check?
Okay. Can I keep my streak of natural 16s going? I will find out. Cut that in half. I rolled an 8, which isn't bad. It's a 29.
So the Shade's room is very sparsely decorated. I think she has a bunch of different books on magical theory and on technology. Nothing really in the way of personal effects. Very simple bed, and under the bed, like, there's a little footlocker that has some money stashed inside it. A bunch of gold if you want to steal from her.
Nope.
And other than that, I mean, it's not a super interesting place. Like, it seems, I mean, much like you've seen from the actual person, there is no warmth here. There's not really a lived-in quality. This appears to just be a place to do research, sleep, and read books.
All right. Well, it was a fun jog down memory lane. I think Tarazi at this point would just shake his head and get even more steps in and go all the way back to the barracks.
Well, when you come out into the hallway, there is a Gurundi woman standing there outside the doors of one of the sets of quarters, and she looks at you and says, "Can I help you?"
Oh, I really hope you can. I recently started working for the Shade, and I was sent on a mission, and then I fulfilled that mission and was trying to find her. I checked at one place, she wasn't there. She took us up here yesterday, so I thought maybe she's here, and she's not here either. Have you seen her?
I have not. The Shade usually is out and about in the city all day long. I only ever see her at night.
Oh.
You should not have come here unsupervised. Do you understand that?
I did not realize that. Oh man, I just started like yesterday. I am so sorry.
Well, count yourself lucky that you've run into me instead of one of my compatriots. Otherwise, this would probably be the end of your journey.
Oh man.
Do I need to see you out of the facility, or can you find your way on your own?
Is that a trick question? Should I be supervised on my way out? Because I'm learning.
I am not attempting to trick you. I am merely asking you if you know how to navigate a hallway or not.
Okay, yeah. Yes. I can make my way out.
Then I would advise you to do so. And perhaps do not take so many liberties the next time the Shade leaves you to your own purposes.
Of course. Thank you. And he'll look to see, like, captain? Rank-wise?
She does sort of appear to be a captain in general bearing, and like that. Maybe the badge is a little fancier. We have nothing in the literature that suggests captain badges are fancier. Well, let's say they've got a little gold circle around the gear kind of thing.
Ooh, I like that. Thank you. I presume captain.
It's Captain Crastus. And she walks back into her room and closes the door without another word.
Wow. Okay. Day 2. Having some hiccups. No, wrong way. Oh, God.
Opening the door to some random captain's quarters.
No.
I see what you're doing. No, that's been noted.
Yeah. Excuse me, giant robot.
Why don't you just give me a little bit of a luck roll just to see how well you put things back in the Shade's room.
A what? You cut out for a sec.
A luck roll. Just give me a D100, let's say. The higher the better.
84.
That sounds pretty good.
And we can roll back the tape.
So you did a good...
There's like nothing to put back. Everything, there's like 2 books. I think you got that.
That's true. He memorized the positions of those books super well. And I think it's easier for you to get out than get in, so if you're leaving the facility, it's easy enough to book it.
He walks at a cash pace because he doesn't want to look like he's running in fear or he'll get shot. So he just strolls out, looking busy but not rushed. He's got it down, back towards the barracks. He won't even stop to try the Synodon as much as he wants to. He's just going to head back to the barracks.
That's discipline for you.
Stronger man than I.
That's the kind of discipline that got him this plum position in the first place.
That and his strong moral compass.
So as Brad goes back to the barracks to wait for his employer, and the party harasses every sort of citizen of Starfall, and we hit the afternoon on the 5th of Neth, I think. Yeah, let me just check. Yeah, we're on the 5th of Neth in the middle of the afternoon. I'm going to bed.
Night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Night, Sam. Sorry, I was muted.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
Recording. Waveforms. These are the sounds that come out of my face.
Face forms.
Some people pay to
Face
listen
form.
to these
Now
sounds that we
recording.
make with our
Plosive
faces.
Reboot forms.
And we love them.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's going to make fantastic bloops. Recording. Ooh, that's so high. Recording.
Like a GeoMetro.
Yes.
Like a GeoCities.
Both.
Two things that'll go the distance.
I still see people driving geo trackers around here. I'm pretty
That's
sure
a-
those things are impossible to kill.
Looks like a fun little vehicle every time I see one. But yeah, no, I mean, GeoMetros, those things like Ford Tauruses from like the 1990s, they'll go to like 300,000 miles. You just won't get there in style, but who cares?
You'll be there.
I literally cannot stop thinking of Curse of Brahad. Now, I know the H is in a different place than where it is in Strahd, but
Curse
Yeah.
of Broad spin-off when?
Curse of Strahd was my first thing. We should play that,
That
one.
was a
I
lot
like
of
that.
people's first thing.
Yeah.
imagine if the
That is one
antagonist
of the
was a
two
Ken.
good 5e modules.
Ooh.
What's the other one?
I wonder if them's fighting words with somebody.
The other one is the Storm Giant one.
Storm
with the
King's
dragon.
situation.
Storm King Thunder, yes.
Yes.
The Storm
That's
King
actually
Sitch.
probably the AP that I've run the most in any system. Like full length one. Right.
So we got to kill this gargoyle, right? But then at the same time, like, who are they going to tell?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like she's just going to go back to Unity, and Unity's not going to do anything because Unity's stuck in a rock.
Classic Unity. I did not feel confident about that clap.
Yeah. Where? I'm scrolling up and down to find my spot on the map.
No.
Oh, and I had
Jeff said, enjoy your meth on the 5th of Neth. I'm still recording. Whoever is editing, use that.